Aloha and welcome to the Spirit of Sports, brought to you by notpods.com and my Notpods YouTube channel. Web coming soon. This is Uncle Richie coming at you daily from the middle of the Pacific Ocean, 8:45 Hawaiian time. I'll let you know that. Let you do the math. Welcome to Not Pods. This is my NFL divisional preview show, part 7 of 8. I'm doing north, south, east, west. Started last Monday. This is Sunday, August 13th, day 7. So north, south, east, west, NFC, AFC. I've done north, south, and today is the AFC East. I think the second toughest division, probably. A little bit about myself, though. I'm going to give a little background every show till I get a little more well-known, a little more followers. So this is called, I've named my business, my website, Not Pods, because this is not a podcast, actually. This is live internet radio. For me, it's live internet sports talk radio. Always been my dream. I grew up, I'm on the plus side of 50. I grew up listening to the radio, listening to Beaver games with Daryl Ani, Blazer games with Bill Shawnley, the Shawns, Rip City. It was always a dream to do that one day, and sports talk as well. So people wonder why I get questions, why is the screen blank? And that's why, because this is an internet radio show. This is not a podcast. Even though for now, the streams, you can go back and listen to my shows. But once I get more popular, I really think I'm going to be live only. And if you miss it, you miss it. The more money that I can make down the road, the more I will be on. My goal is within a year, if I can have 10,000 subscribers paying 51 cents a month. That's all I'm going to ask. It's going to be free probably through this whole football season. And I have actually 3 interview shows. Emalani the Great. I have a 6-year-old daughter, just trying to make a better life for her and myself and my friends. So I interview her about once a week. I try. It's a work in progress. She's a little antsy and little maybe reserved. But I have that. I have the Grom Squad, where I will interview kids around the neighborhood and friends of friends, tourists down the road, whatever. And I have Talk Story with Uncle Richie. Interviews with hopefully famous people, friends, interesting people. I'm going to get Uncle Raz on soon. The guy has a fascinating life story. Just story after story after story, and it needs to be told. So I think that's going to be a huge one. Check out Dustin Carpenter, a good friend of mine, came on. He had a life-threatening bout with diverticulitis, and we talked about that. He's also a huge sports fan. So yeah, my goal is to not wear shoes except on the golf course for a whole year. Maybe vacation. Vacation and golf is the only time I want to wear shoes. This is a slip-up society out here in the Hawaii. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I'm at. If you know, you know. But yeah, I just want to make a better life for myself. And this is my dream. And I'm putting in the effort every single waking moment. If I'm not with the kid, or if I'm not working or golfing, I'm watching shows, I'm practicing my craft, working on content. Got hours and hours of recorded stuff that I'm going to go through. And join me right before NFL kickoff season. I'm going to do a kickoff talkathon. I'm going to go 12 hours straight on the on the radio, on the internet. The Spirit of Sports Talkathon. Just to get my name out there, something different. I won't be asking for any money yet. I will humbly ask once I have the website up. I do on notpods.com. There's nothing really on it yet. Once I get that going, I will ask for 51 cents a month. You know, if I can, it's an infinitesimal amount. You won't even notice it's gone. 51 cents a month, $6 a year out of your credit card. And I think it's a small price to ask, and I think I'm worth that. That's the plan. Let's get into this. Day 7, August 13th, Sunday evening. This is day 7, show number 7 of 8 of my preview of each NFL division, featuring the AFC East tonight. So what I go over is the biggest question marks for each team. Look at the strength of schedule, the O-line and defensive rankings. You know, I'm only one person. I don't have a whole lot of time to go into super depth. I'm more of a fantasy guy and offensive and weapons, but I will look at the rankings of the lines and the defense. I don't know every player on every team. I probably never will, but I do have my phone. I have my phone, my computer, my TV. I'm doing this all myself, so bear with me as we go. But yeah, then I will also give my predictions on the over-unders in Vegas. And with no further ado, let's get going. The AFC East. Tough division. And just hate to say, I can't help it, but I got to go with the Patriots as my pick to finish 4th in the AFC East. They do have the 5th ranked defense, 13th ranked offensive line, but 32nd, the number 1 toughest strength of schedule in the NFL. And that's just a step backwards to start. That is tough. Big question marks at quarterback, Mac Jones. Finally has a real offensive coordinator. Last year was a fiasco. It's almost like Belichick is trying to throw a monkey wrench into the whole thing. Just drive it into the ground. Maybe he leaves and says, there you go. You didn't want to keep Garoppolo. You didn't want to listen to me. Something's funky over there. But I love Ramondre Stevenson. Ty Montgomery. We'll see. Receiving core. Probably one of the worst receiving rooms in the whole NFL. Then they spent so much money a couple years ago on tight ends. I don't see it. So Vegas has them at 7.5. Let's go to the schedule. Where are we at? New England Patriots, the 32nd ranked and toughest schedule in the whole NFL. Week 11 bye, that's a help. I really like right in there, 11, 12, 13 is a great bye. And as I do with every team, I go the first third, the middle third, and the bottom third of the schedule. Break it down. So Patriots, my 4th place team. Vegas has them 7.5. Oh, and before I get into this, I will hold myself accountable on my predictions. One of my original shows that I'm very excited about it is called That's What He Said, where I take the so-called pros and the pundits that they just spew shit out their mouth and this guy's going to be great and they're definitely going to win this game, and I'm going to hold them accountable, see how they do. You know, you can just spew shit and it's never been brought up. I love Colin Cowherd on Mondays says where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong, and he calls himself out. And I'm going to be taking notes. I'm going to be keeping score, Mr. Nick Wright. So convicted in everything. and quite often Nick wrong. So there will be ramifications, my friends. Uncle Richie's going to be checking you out, and I hope you will too, along with me. It's only been about 2.5 weeks, and I'm up to 35 subscribers and counting. Haven't really pushed it too hard. This is just, I know not a whole lot of people aren't listening right now, but I'm working on my craft and hopefully getting better every day, getting more comfortable behind the mic. I'm in my living room, my house. It's amazing how easy this is to set up and get going. Back in 2006, I did thespiritofsports.com, and I had a website and podcasts, and I had a studio, and I would record a show, and I would have to download it onto a DVD and email it to my friend in LA, and then she would put it on the website, and it was such a big hassle. So it's so much more accessible, and I just want to be great at my craft, and I want to make a new career for myself and my family. So thank you for listening. Let's get to it. Patriots schedule, 32nd toughest. The toughest. Oh, AFC East. Bills are 29th. Jets are 26th. Dolphins are 30th. And Patriots are 32nd on strength of schedule. Vikings are playing each other. So here we go. The top third. Forgive me, I got a cough drop. I'm going to the doctor Thursday. I've been having a raspy, mucusy cough and for almost a month now. Hope it's not walking pneumonia or bronchitis. It almost feels like, so we'll see. I'll get back to you. Patriots, opening week, home for Philly, home for Miami, at the Jets, at Dallas, home for New Orleans, at Vegas. I'm saying home and home, 0-2, 1-2, first three. At Jets, home Miami, home Philly. I'll give them one win. At Dallas, they're looking 1-3 in the face. Home for New Orleans, 2-3, 3-3 at best. I'm gonna say 2-4. So let's call it 2-4, 3-3 at the very best. Philly, Miami, Jets, Dallas, and New Orleans should be better. That's a tough start. And could Belichick's job be in jeopardy? Is he on the hot seat after all those years? I believe so. What have you done for me lately? It's a not for long league. So we're going to say 2-4 through the first 6 games. Let's go to the middle third of the schedule. Home for Buffalo, at Miami, home for Washington, home for Indy, bye week in week 11, at the Giants, home for Chargers. Home for Buffalo. I'll give them a split. We'll give them that one. 3-5 or 2-4, 3-4. I'll give them a split with Miami too. 4-4, Washington, Indy. Let's just say 5-5. Giants, Chargers. At Giants, home for Chargers. 5-6, 6. I got to say 5-7 through 12 games. We're looking 5-7, 7-5 at very best. So that's through 12 games. Let's go to the bottom third. We'll call them 5-7. At Pittsburgh, home for KC. At Denver, at Buffalo, Jets. Oh, brutal stretch down the home stretch. 5-7, 5-8, 5-9, 6-9, 6-10, 6-11, 7-10 at best. I'm going under. Take it to Vegas, under 7.5. Let's check it out. How many games I actually see them winning right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 8 and 9 at best. With Belichick and the D, maybe it's a no touch. I almost want to go under, but let's just say don't touch it. Don't take it to Vegas. Just because it's almost like an animal that's cornered. Pretty nuts, though. Pretty nuts what's happening. They haven't won a playoff game since Brady left. This is year 4 without Brady. Belichick without Brady in all his career is what? A couple games under 500. We'll see. Moving on. Patriots 4th. I'll give them 7-10, but I'm not touching it in Vegas. 3rd place, I got to go Jets. With the biggest question mark there is, and I don't know why they didn't take care of this earlier when you get a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, but O-line. 23rd ranked, and that's if they're healthy. Dwayne Brown. Mekhi Becton. Sounds like training camp is a different 5 every rep. I don't know. 1st ranked defense should be awesome. Loaded at weapons, 26 strength of schedule. So that's like the 7th toughest strength of schedule. And I really think running back health, Breece Hall, if he comes back, the rookie, Abimakanda, Michael Carter, he's functional. Garrett Wilson, Lazard, Mecole Hardman, Cobb, Corey Davis, Uzomah and Conklin, Rodgers can make that work. I really don't have any question marks with their skill players, skill positions. Weapons is fine. And Hackett was a terrible situation as a head coach, but I think he's a pretty good offensive coordinator and players love him. And, I think 3-step drops and get the ball out of Rodgers' hands, and Rodgers is smart and one of the quickest releases in the history of the game. So can you overcome a bad offensive line, especially if they're dinged up? To me, that's their number one and one of the few question marks, but it's they could put it at midfield. Huge question mark. Let's go to the schedule. Vegas has them at 9.5. It's kind of a lot. Top 3rd, New York Jets, as my pick to finish 3rd in the AFC East. Home for Buffalo, at Dallas, home for New England, home for KC, at Denver, home for Philly. Whew, brutal. I'll give them a split, home for Buffalo and at Dallas. I'll give them a split, home for New England, KC. 2-2 at Denver. I'll give them 3-3 at Denver, home for Philly. But 3-3 at best. Week 7 bye, that's tough. Week 7 bye, and then 11 straight weeks of the ringer. I'm going to give them 3-3. Not real confident. It could be 2-4. Week 8, middle third of the season. At the Giants, home for the Chargers. At Vegas, at Buffalo, home for Miami, home for Atlanta. The Jets and Giants. I'll give them that. I'm going to split Giants and Chargers. 4-4. Beat Vegas, 5-4. Lose at Buffalo, 5-5. Miami, Atlanta, 6-6, maybe 7-5. I'll give them 7-5 benefit of the doubt, but that's at the very best. Bottom 3rd, 7-5. Home for Houston, at Miami, home for Washington, at Cleveland, at New England. 8-5, 8-6, 9-6, 10-6. I think a solid 10-7, even with that brutal start. 11-6 or 9-8. Not terribly confident, but I'll give them over. Barely take it to Vegas if you're in a spot and you have to bet it. I almost want to say no touch it, but I'll take the over. Let's look one more time. How many wins I see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I see 10, 11 wins. Yeah, I think we'll go over semi-confidently. Moving on. Second place. I'm so tempted to take the Dolphins to win it, but Tua gets ragdolled once. I mean, Mike White, I don't know. Running back, wide receivers, super. I'm going to go Dolphins second. Got to take the Bills. Without all the weird shit last year, I think the Bills should have been playing KC in the AFC Championship game. Without, having to flee a snowstorm blizzard and had to play on the road home game, and then a guy dies on the field and they just cancel a game and just weird stuff. And Josh Allen turned into kind of a turnover machine without Dable. But yeah, I think they're going to win it. So let's go Dolphins. Got question marks at running back. A chain looking decent in camp. Most certain Wilson, can you stay healthy? Just weird. San Francisco East. I don't know what to think. Gaskin, Ahmed still there. Those guys have all been decent in the Mike McDonald offense. Hugest question mark, Tua. Durham Smythe, he's functional. He's okay. Tyreek and Waddle, Craycraft. Braxton Berrios over Cedric Wilson. One of the best receiving rooms in the league. If Tua's healthy, and the eye test, not the strongest arm. He might have the most over 20-yard passes, but they're underthrown. It's just because Tyreek's 10 yards behind guys. Not the strongest arm and concussion issues. We'll see if jiu-jitsu helps in putting on 10, 15 pounds, but guy's not big. Guy can get ragdolled. 30th, strength of schedule. Third hardest in the league. 7th ranked defense should be good. 20th O-line. Maybe Tua needs to move the pocket a little more. He has admitted that it's hard to see over the line of scrimmage. Some big question marks. I do like Mike White, though. And Skylar Thompson had him down to the wire at Buffalo. Kind of like Shanahan. McDonald's kind of a just plug a guy in there, possibly. Got the weapons. Let's look at the schedule. Vegas has them at 9.5 wins. Top third. Miami Dolphins, my choice to finish second in the AFC East 2023. At the Chargers, at New England, home for Denver, at Buffalo, home for Giants, home for Carolina. I'll give them a split 1-1. Denver, Buffalo, 2-2. Home for Giants. Let's say 4-2. I'll give them 4-2, 3-3. Week 10 bye, so that's not bad. I'll say 4-2. Middle third, tough stretch. At Philly, home for New England. At KC, home for Vegas, at Jets, at Washington. 4-2. 4-3, 5-3, 5-4, 6-4, 6-5, 7-5 through 12. Solid 7-5. Bottom third of the schedule, Miami Dolphins. Home for Tennessee, home for the Jets, home for Dallas, at Baltimore, home for Buffalo. 7-5, 8-5, 9-5, 9-6, 10-6, 10-7, 9-8. I'm gonna say 10-7, 11-6, 9-8, and I'm gonna say no touch in Vegas. Stay away. At 9.5, I'm gonna go down and see how many wins again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 9, 10, 11, but not touching it. It's gonna be them and the Jets battling for a wild card spot. That's the way I see it. I'll probably do on Tuesday will be my playoff picture as I look at my records. I'll have distinct, not just this, or this. I'm going to pick exactly what I think is my best feelings for the records. Then we'll look at playoffs. So that'll be a whole nother show probably on Tuesday. And we head to my prediction for the champions of the AFC East 2023, Buffalo Bills. 29th toughest strength of schedule. Or 29th easiest. So third toughest, fourth toughest. 6th ranked defense, 22nd ranked O-line. No question mark at QB. Really like what they've done at running back. James Cook looking good. Damian Harris coming over. Latavius Murray. Not great for fantasy. Diggs, Gay Davis, Sherfield, Shakir, Knox, Kincaid, solid across the board. Not a whole lot of question marks at all. And I think that's one of the reasons that I'm picking them. Everyone else, big question marks. Question marks are a huge part of it. Let's go to the schedule. Vegas has them 10.5 over under. Week 13 bye. I really like that, especially if you can go somewhat unscathed, get down there. Almost a little too late, but way better than 4, 5, 6. Let's go. Let's go the top third. Buffalo Bills, my pick to win the AFC East. At the Jets, home for Vegas, at Washington, home for Miami, home for Jacksonville, home for Giants. 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 4-2. Pretty much at the worst. I'm going solid 4-2. Middle third. At New England, home for Tampa, at Cincinnati, home for Denver, home for Jets, at Philly. 4-2. We'll split New England, Tampa 5-3, 5-4, 6-4, 7-5. Oh, showdown, December 10th at KC. I'm gonna call them 7-5, 7-6, 8 home for Dallas. So at KC, home for Dallas, at Chargers, home for New England, at Miami. Brutal stretch. So 8-6, 8-7, 9-7, 10. I think I'm looking at 10-7. Let me count the wins again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10-7, 11-6. I'm not touching. I got 3 no touches and 1 barely over. AFC East. I think it's going to be a cannibalistic society. Gonna wear each other out. Then they got Cincy, KC, Chargers. Brutal. Giants, Jacksonville. Non-divisional games. Recap. Patriots to go for 6-11, 7-10, 8-9 at best. And I'm not taking it to Vegas. I'm not touching it. Third place Jets 10-7, 11-6 possibly. Take the over. Second place Dolphins 10-7, 9-8, 11-6. Who knows? I'm not touching it. And if I had to, I would probably go under just for the fact that I'm not sure Tua can stay upright. And to win the AFC East, Buffalo Bills, I have them at 10-7, 11-6 at best, and I'm not touching it in Vegas. 3 out of 4, I can't help you. Sorry. Every other division, under, over, under. Over, no touch, under, over. Under, no touch, over, under. Over, no bet, under, over. Under, over, over. So it's not like I'm no bet, under, over, no bet. So it's not like I'm just taking the pussy way out. It's really tough. And that's going to wrap it up for today's episode, The Spirit of Sports, brought to you by notpods.com. Coming soon. Notpods YouTube channel. Live and direct as we speak. You're beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. You know, I'm going to end. My good friend brought this up that I'm just going to encourage everyone to be happy and, you know, be grateful for what we have. It's a wonderful life. Look what happened to Lahaina. It's just so gut-wrenching. And, you know, life is short. We're living on a thread. You never know what's going to happen. So I'm here for you. I'd like to see a little more chats if anybody wants to chat. Definitely will chat back. And I am live. You know, I don't have a schedule. You don't really know. That's why I still have the streaming. But everybody just, you know, be happy out there and love each other. I need to work on it too. You know, I'm probably way more judgmental than I need to be. I'm not better or worse than anyone. We're all the same, really. And just want you to know I love you all. Thank you so much for your support. I'll talk to you tomorrow. AFC West. It'll be my final prediction show. And then on Tuesday, we'll do a good hour on playoffs, team rankings. I'll have firm predictions on records. I'm doing my homework. I really don't want to wear shoes. I don't want to be at work at 2:30 anymore. I don't want to have to be there. As soon as I get 50, once I get 16 more of you to subscribe, I can be on my phone, see someone and say, hey, you want to do a live interview? And I will be live from my phone. You could run into me. You could be a star. We'll all be stars together. Everyone's a star. Thank you so much. Aloha and ahui ho.